Hello everybody, we are back in my favorite spot along Route 66. Today in Oatman, Arizona, we're going to get to see a gun duel, we'll get to see some bed races, and as always, we'll get to see some wild donkeys. Let's go check it out. One of my favorite things about Oatman, Arizona is as you walk into the town, you're transported back in time. Oatman, Arizona is the literal definition of the Wild Wild West. A matter of fact, every day at 1:30 and 3:30 there are gun duels.
Okay, we're going to ask your question. I'm ready for a gunfight. Good crowd. We're going to open up our gunfighters. Rest our keepers off today, but that's enough to do the show. Some of us here, big hand for Pecos. Give them a big hand. That's the table. She's on costume right now, but Diamond well. I'm on my way. We do these shows for two reasons. One, naturally, your entertainment. But the other, there's a Shriners Children's Hospital. And no child or family is ever charged at the Shriners. While the Open Outlaw Strike Club will authorize to raise money for the kids, we just gave them a check for $1,000. That brings the total donation just by doing shows out here in the middle of the street to $128,000. That's what they said. That's a lot of falling down. In fact, we can't fall down anymore. We can't get up. But that's about $1 at a time. And naturally, we don't get paid to do this. We love doing it. It's a great cause. It's a lot of fun. But how we raise the money is after the show. We walk among you with our hats in our hands. We ask you to please be generous. Get all that money in one day. If you'd like to drop $1 or two in the hat, if you don't want to, remember, we can't do this without you. You can't go anywhere to see a show for $1. Don't you have at least $1's worth of fun? And I say that because of the ammo. It's getting so expensive. It's getting so expensive if we can find it. So please, we want to try to keep these shows going as long as we can. We really appreciate it. Ma'am, what do you want? This is that town I was telling you about. I thought you said it was the town. You mean I left all the way for this? This town's got a Wells Fargo bank in it. Every town's got a Wells Fargo bank. Miner's been working hard. They came down with $20,000 in gold in the bank, and we're going to take it out. Now wait a minute, we never robbed the bank before. We only robbed state coaches and trainers. It can't be that hard. It's standing still. Okay, what's the plan? I want you folks, you robbed the bank. I robbed the bank? That's a bad plan. Hey, let me check something. How many think I can do it? All about money. I know you're in there. I'll shoot you through this box. I'm not fooling. Give me that gold. They're not even open. You gotta go inside. Inside? I'm not going inside.
You actually heard it?
Huh? What?
I'm supposed to shoot me. Give me that gold. Some air there. Buddy. I'm looking this way and off from both. Oh, nice. You got it. Let's get the horses and get out of town. That was easy. Hey. Pecos. The horses are up here. I thought I'd get started to Mexico. We're not going to Mexico. I am. You can go But the goal is staying here. Don't make me put a hole in you. You still standing? Yeah. Quit moving! Quit shooting! Well, quit moving! You know I can't have a moving target. That's the reason I'm moving! You gonna share? I don't care. I can't believe you double-crossed me like that after all these years. Can't trust anybody anymore. Get over there, I keep an eye on you. You know I wouldn't double-cross you. You did have a good idea. Get him in the bag. Hey, I told you I'd share. You said you'd share. I didn't share. I'm going to go. I'm going to Mexico. You can go to Mexico, but you best leave the gold here. No, you were lucky last time. You don't move. I'll get you this time. I got him. I got him. Before somebody gets hurt. Look what you did to my knee. Look at this. Look at that. Let's do this fair. What do you call fair? We just robbed the Wells Fargo Bank. We can do it fair. I'll count to 3, and on 3, I'll shoot you. That's fair. Why can't I count to 3? You can't count to 3. Have you know I walked by the schoolhouse twice. I looked inside the windows once. I'm an educated outlaw. Gonna make you feel better? Yes, it would. All right. Let's do it now. On the 1. Wait, I gotta get some confidence here. How many think I can take him on the count of 3? Yeah. How many think I can take him on the count of 3? Yeah. Sounds like you best ride out of town and leave the gold here. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes. I feel lucky. On 3. 1, 2, 4, 5. Hold it. I knew you couldn't count. What happened to 3? What'd you say? 3. He said shoot on 3.
We try to do a lot of special events like this. This one is even more special as I'm partnered with the town of Oatman and the Historical Society. Gotta make the bed comfy. Yeah, there they go.
Ting Kahanu. In first place, we have the Minnesota Daycare with a time of 59 seconds. Okay, the best showmanship this year is the Shotgun Queen.
Okay, everybody, the races have officially wrapped up here in Oatman, Arizona, and everybody is starting to head out now. So I went to Jackass Junction, a store here in Oatman, and I met Leanne. She's like the head of the Historical Society here in Oatman. So she got me some water, a Sprite. She's going to be handing out some stickers, helping promote the channel. Bear with me. Yeah, she's going to help promote the channel, hand out a couple stickers. I know towards the end, a couple people came in and said it was lagging and stuff, but that's just part of being out here. There was nothing more I could really do. I couldn't move. I couldn't restart a live stream. I couldn't. My options were limited, very limited. So hopefully, if you were in the live, you got to see a little bit of it. Otherwise, I got a GoPro video. I lost track of time, so I got one GoPro video. Now we're gonna go around and we're gonna do a little bit of shopping, because Leanne's also running a store, so it's pretty busy. And once I'm done shopping and checking out the stores, getting some souvenirs, I'm gonna head back and we'll get to do an interview with her. We are not going to discuss how much money I just freaking spent on candy. Hey guys, so we're here in Oatman and Leanne sent me over to do an interview with a old-fashioned cowboy. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Mike Fox, or Big Fox, here in town. When I'm doing the gunfights, it's usually what they refer to me as, is Big Fox. So.
And how long have you been doing the gunfights?
I've been doing the gunfights off and on for about 27 years.
Awesome.
I've lived here for 35, and I've been doing gunfights for about 27 of those.
Okay. So I'm curious, I've been to Oatman just a couple times, but nowhere near as long. What's the crowds like today? This, to me, seems like one of the busiest I've ever seen it.
No, it really. It's actually kind of a fairly, one of the average or busier days. Okay. Today we had the bed race, so the bed race brings people to town. And that's basically why most of those people are here. But we have other days that can be this busy too. It's just not. Sometimes they're busy. It's busy for no real reason. Okay. The winter time is our busier season because it's cool and people can come up here to play around and do stuff without getting too hot and stuff. So during the summer, where everybody else's busy season is during the summer, where nobody comes up here because it's hotter. You know, yeah. It's hot as you can get. So we sit per capita. We sit in the hottest place in the continental United States most years. So okay. Yeah. I know. I caught the gun duel earlier today, and they mentioned you guys do it for charity. Yeah, there's two different gunfights in town. The gunfight you saw this morning was done by a group that donates to the Shriners. Okay. Okay, and I used to shoot with them. The other guy that I do the gunfights with, we do ours under the Red Ridge Marauders. Okay. And we donate to St. Jude's. Now we actually shoot under a nonprofit. Okay. So we can actually donate to other things other than just St. Jude's. We're not shooting like for St. Jude's. We just donate to St. Jude's. Sweet. We also have donated to several veterans groups. We've donated, the last 1,000 we gave to was a thing called Samaritan's Purse. Okay. We gave to their American Disaster Division. Okay. And then we've been given basically $100 a month ever since the hurricanes on the other side of the country happened. And that's basically what we do. We do a gunfight, and then everything we collect, anything that we don't use for powder and primers and gas for him to get back and forth from Kingman, we donate to somebody who needs it. Sweet. Thank you guys for doing that.
So I'm wrapping up my time here in Oatman, but it's time to see a very special guest. And one thing I've been wondering is the town of Oatman is rich in history and culture. It dates back to the late 1800s, early 1900s. So there's got to be some paranormal stuff to this town, to this area. And our special guest is going to fill us in on some.
My name is Leanne Tui, and I've been here 8-9 years. So I've been in this store quite a while, and I notice sometimes when people come in. Now I'm going to back up. So Oatman, there is a lot of paranormal activity in Oatman. Personally, I've experienced a lot of different things, but I'm going to share with you the story that I deal with every single day in the store that I work in. All right, so I notice people come in and they'll stop in the doorway and they'll hug themselves and they'll say, "Oh gosh, it feels so good in here," or they'll say, "Oh, that smell! That smell makes me so happy." And there's no particular smell or feel or anything about the store. So I felt like something paranormal was happening. And I have people come in regularly and say, "Oh, I'm a medium and your mom is here with you." And I say, it's not my mom. My mom's not here with me, but it's somebody maternal. All right, so sometimes something will fly off the shelf, and sometimes the light will turn off and on. Sometimes paranormal investigators will come in, and when they go to this back corner over here, everything will shut off. And sometimes people who are mediums or that kind of thing will try and take pictures or video, and it goes off back there. Different things will happen. So I was aware of her. So I started talking to the old timers in town, saying, "Does anyone know about something that may have happened here? Here's what I'm seeing. It feels like somebody maternal." Well, I finally found out that there was a woman who lived in town. Her name was Misty, and she had just gotten married, and she worked, and this is like the early 1980s, so it's not old history. A couple doors down, and she'd just been married a couple weeks and was excited to be married and have a family and all those things. She had a big pile of things she was carrying, and on top of it was her gun. And as she walked past right out front, she tripped and fell, and the gun went off, and she was killed instantly. And so I think that's her. And so I started calling her by name and different things. Well, now years go by. Fast forward to just a few months ago, and a family comes in and they have a little boy with them, maybe 6-7 years old. And his parents urged him to come up and talk to me, that kind of thing. And he said to me, you know your friend's in here? She's a ghost, right? And I said, "Oh, I do know that. So this is pretty cool." And I said, "Well, did she tell you her name or anything about her? Because now I want confirmation that who I think it is. This kid doesn't know me or my story or any of that." And so he tells me her name is Misty, and she likes you, and she sits over in the corner over there, and she watches you. Ooh. And so I said, "Well, sometimes she's thrown things, I think." And he said, "Well, she doesn't like everybody."
Well, I'm glad nothing has been thrown at me so far, Misty, because I have a bad track record with the paranormal. So if you can hear me, I very much appreciate that.
All right, and then very quickly, the most famous story that we have is at the Oatman Hotel is Odie, the ghost Odie. He's the ghost of an old miner, and his name was Ray Flowers. And I'm terrible with numbers, so I don't remember the year, but he came out here to mine and make a fortune, and he came from Ireland. And when he made his money, he sent for his wife and his daughter, and they were on the way out on a ship, and there was an accident with the ship, and it capsized, and his wife and daughter were killed. Wow. And from then on, he just lost his mind, really, and he just about drank himself to death. He was staying in the upstairs in one of the rooms in the hotel, and he fell out the window and died behind the hotel. And his body wasn't found for a few days. And so he was pretty mad about that. They feel like that nobody found him in that time. Wow. So he still haunts the Oatman Hotel. And you can talk to the people who work there, maybe, or they might tell you stories about it, but you might not care, but they might tell you about different things about that Odie does and pull their hair or mischievous kinds of
I'll have to go
things.
check it out.
if you look it up, Odie is our most famous ghost
Okay.
in Oatman.
See, I've been here a couple times and I did not know that, but awesome to get to hear some of the paranormal
Yeah, so
history.
any store that you go in, if they've been there any length of time, they have a ghost story to tell you.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. From wild donkeys to gun duels to bed races and now the paranormal, you can probably see why Oatman is my favorite location along historic Route 66. If you would like to learn more about the history and origin of the town, make sure to tune in next week for my full exclusive video.